Good morning. As Jodie said, my name is Justine and I work as a Disaster Program Officer for Baptist World Aid. And I'm just here, I just want to thank you for having me here today to be able to tell you a bit more about the Syria Assist project. It's an area that's really close to my heart as I lived and worked in the region for a year, and I just got back from a 2-week trip visiting our partners. This trip highlighted to me not only the growing complexity of the situation in Lebanon and the deepening need, but it was also very moving, and I heard so many stories of transformation, and I'm really looking forward to being able to share a few of them with you today. I'm not sure how much you know about the Syrian refugee crisis, but it started in March 2011, and it's the worst humanitarian crisis our world has seen since World War II. It's caused the mass displacement of millions of people into the region, and Lebanon in particular is experiencing the impact of this. It has the highest proportion of refugees of any country in the world, with 1 out of 4 people in Lebanon being a Syrian refugee. As you can imagine, this is placing a huge amount of strain on the local government. There's no official refugees camps within Lebanon, and Syrians are legally unable to work. So this means as the war is now dragging into its 6th year, many families' savings are completely eroded. Each month, the average family is $800 in debt, and it means that they're faced with the difficult decision of choosing what they pay for each month, whether it's food, shelter, water, education, or health care. So there's a growing need to support Syrians within Lebanon. What was highlighted to me on the trip, and it hadn't really clicked before, is that until 2005, Lebanon was occupied by the Syrian military, and so this contributes to the growing social tensions between Syrians and Lebanese. And so for Lebanese people and the church in Lebanon, the process of helping their Syrian refugees for many is them actively having to work out the commandment of Matthew 5:44, to love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And so for me, it was really encouraging to see the way that Christians were doing this. So we work through our local Baptist partner, the Lebanese Society for Education and Development. And the Syria Assist project is working in one of Beirut's urban slum areas. It's an area that is quite poor and completely devoid of government intervention. There's no planning or public services in this community. Water is trucked in, garbage is carried out, and police won't enter this suburb. So the project applies a holistic approach to try and address some of the key needs facing Syrian refugees in Lebanon, but by providing them with education and healthcare. And for me, I was encouraged because I've seen a lot of different development projects and emergency relief projects, and this is one of the best projects I've seen. So one of the biggest concerns is that there is an entire generation of Syrian children who are living through conflict and displacement. 70% of the nearly 1 million school-aged Syrian children living in Lebanon don't have access to formal education. This means that there is a whole generation of children at risk of being unable to read and write. As a result, one of the main aims of this project is to try and address this. The program focuses on providing basic literacy and numeracy to out-of-school children so that they can re-enter the formal schooling system. Each week, almost 200 children from this community are able to attend the NonFormal Education Centre. So Noor and Omar, who are up here, are just 2 of the children that have been able to attend the program. They entered last year and attended for a year and then graduated. The centre was able to help them attend a local school, but after a few months, they realised that Noor and Omar weren't attending their local public school anymore. This is quite a surprise, as they had been really regular at attending the non-formal program. And so a social worker from the school was able to speak with the family to try and find out why they weren't attending school anymore. The parents said they weren't able to afford the small amount of money it cost for the bus to take the kids to school. So another aspect of this project is providing scholarships to students so that they can attend their local public school and their families can afford the transport. I really love the story of Noor and Omar because it captures the holistic approach of the program. It's not just about ensuring that there's a school in the neighbourhood and that classes are being run each week. It's about ensuring that children receive a quality education that they deserve and that their families are supported in this. Access to healthcare is often expensive and difficult, particularly within this suburb where there aren't any government services. So this project runs 2 community health centres that provide over 2,000 consultations each year. They provide pre- and postnatal care for women. They provide house visits for the elderly who might not be mobile enough to reach the centre. They also have a team of dedicated speech pathologists, social workers and counsellors, which are really invaluable for families that have been impacted by the trauma of war. So Walid and his family, this is Walid up here, they came to this suburb in Beirut from Aleppo in the north of Syria. And when they arrived, they were visited by a community health worker who was just checking up on them. When she visited, she realized that the family had some quite complex health needs. For one, Walid's father had had a stroke just before leaving Syria, and he hadn't fully recovered. She also realized that Walid had some severe behavioural problems and seemed to have difficulty communicating. She organised for Walid and his mum to visit a speech pathologist, where he was diagnosed with a severe speech disorder. The centre was able to organise for Walid and his mother to attend speech therapy sessions regularly, and this really transformed their life. Walid's mum said to one of the workers that, "I knew something was wrong with my son, but I didn't know how to help him. I've seen such a change. He smiles, he cries less, he understands more, and I understand him better. We still face a lot of difficulties in our life, but I feel less helpless, and I know how to support him better." Time and time again during my trip to Lebanon, I heard about how the church and Christian partners were stepping up to serve their Syrian neighbours. At Baptist World Aid, we really strongly believe in being impartial in the way we distribute our assistance. We believe that aid shouldn't be tied and that we can help the poorest of the poor. But we also believe in working through Christian partners and the local church so that we can help them support people in need. Even though the Syrian crisis is having a devastating impact, it's providing countless opportunities for the gospel to be shared and for people to be a Christian witness in ways that were not previously possible in the region. One partner shared with us that their church has grown from 7 to 700 as they reach out and serve this new community. For me, this was deeply encouraging, and it was something that I hadn't really seen or heard before, and so for me, this part of the trip was really encouraging. I really wanted to thank Gaimea Baptist for choosing Syria's project as one of their focus areas for May Mission. Thank you for supporting us in supporting the local church and our Christian partners in Lebanon. On our website, we have more information and resources about our project, and as Jody said, Cam and I will be out the back after the service. So if you have any other questions or you want to know more about what we're doing, please come speak with us, and thank you so much for supporting this work.